Okay, it's live. Okay. Let me make sure my mic is good. Is my mic good? It's good? Testing, testing. Good thing we started a little bit early. Testing, testing. Is it good? It's live now. Okay, it should be live now. Testing, testing, testing. You got it? You got sound?
Yes.
All right, close that. Thank you, engineer. All right, I got another minute before we get started. And there we go. She is in there. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I don't know if anyone is in the rooms. I'm streaming on different platforms, so I don't know if anyone's in the room. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So welcome in. I am Coach Nye. Welcome to Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp. I'm the instructor, Coach Nye. This series is The Power Within. The Power Within is the leadership course that I teach, a leadership program that I created to help people understand. I help you with your purpose while you're operating in your God-given purpose. Help you how to be a leader in that. Because once you step into purpose, you step into a leadership position. That's how God works. He automatically promotes you, okay? So, last week we talked about, in episode 1, it was discipline versus self-discipline, which is the foundation of leadership. And we learned and now we understand that discipline is not structure, right? Discipline is structure, is not punishment. So now we know that, if you guys were following me. If not, go back and catch that video. So discipline is leadership, okay? Discipline in leadership is self-control and consistency. And self-discipline is the ability to control your feelings and overcome your weaknesses. So let's look at it again. Discipline in leadership is self-control and consistency. Self-discipline is the ability to control your feelings and overcome your weaknesses. That's what the difference between the two is. So in this episode, so welcome in, this is episode 2. We're going to talk about humility. Everything that I'm teaching you has something to do as being a leader and stepping into your purpose. So humility, and it is the strength of a servant leader. That's the title of it. Humility, the strength of a servant leader. So let's start with humility is confidence without ego. Give me 1 second. I forgot to pause everything. So humility is confidence without ego. That's what humility is. So let's look at it and break it down a little bit further. So humility does not mean insecurity, silence, or shrinking yourself. A lot of times, well, I speak for myself, right? I use myself as an example. I did that a lot. I thought being humble was, making myself the smallest person in the room, allowing people to get over and say whatever it is they wanted to say about me, or say how they felt about me, right? That's what I thought, and not reacting, not even responding, trying to not be seen. That one, I want to be in the back. I want to operate from the back. I don't want to deal with anybody else. I'll do the work. I'll do all the leg work. Even if you take credit for it, I don't care. I just didn't want to, right? And I was very insecure about myself. And I was silent a lot. I didn't speak and I didn't talk because I didn't think I was one of the smart ones in the room. But what I learned is, it's not that I wasn't the smartest in the room. It's just the problem was the conversations that was being had in the room, I was above those conversations, so I didn't partake into them. So that's what it was. But that was part of my healing. I had to learn that I didn't fit in those rooms. So I stayed in rooms that was never built for me to stay in. So true humility is accurate self-awareness. So when you think about being humble, it's about self-awareness. You being secure with who you are. You being confident with who you are. You're understanding that, hey, I'm here. I'm in the room. And I'm not the smallest in the room, and I'm not going to shrink myself. You're no higher than I am, and I'm no higher than you. You understand who you are. It's just self-awareness about yourself. You're confident in being in that room and being around other people. Right? So humility is knowing your value, as we just talked about. Your gifts and authorities, and authority without needing to compare yourself to anyone, without any comparison, validation, or anyone to make you feel secure, or anything to make you feel secure. Yeah. Humility is your values, gifts, and authority. It's knowing those things without having to compare yourself to someone else or validate. I need validation from someone else, someone to tell you, hey, you look beautiful today, for you to feel you're beautiful. You're doing a great job, so you can feel like you're bringing value to the business. No. Ego strives to be seen as important. Ego. It's your ego that strives to be seen as important. Well, for the ones that was like me, I didn't want to be seen at all. So I wasn't driven by ego at all. But confidence already knows your worth, right? When you're confident in it, you already know your worth. Confidence knows it already has worth. So when I walk in the room, right, if I apply for a job, whatever I step into, I know that before I apply for the job, I already check myself and tell myself I am worthy of that job. That's how I operate. I am worthy of that. So the confidence is knowing that my worth. I already know my worth. But ego, a lot of leaders are led by ego. They have to be seen. Look at me. So as I taught you guys, if you was in my 31-day inner transformation course, my 31-day inner transformation course, if you missed it, it is on my YouTube playlist, 31-day inner transformation. So we did 31 days of me teaching you how to become whole, self-regulate, and self-awareness, and to self-heal, right? I taught you those different things, how to go within childhood trauma and self-regulate and identify what the problem is, get to the root of it, and heal from that. We talked about that, so go check it out. So, and I also taught you about what confidence is as a leader. One thing about it is, when you go into a business, you should not have to search the room to see who the leader is. You should already know. And it's not because they're loud. It's not because they're ego driven, to be seen as important. It's not that. It's the ones that know who they are. See, they don't stand with their hands crossed and looking mean and, hey, who are you? And, hey, this. No, they're quietly there. And I'm going to give you an example of a leader. The best example I can ever give you. God. When God come into your life, he has a quietness about him. He doesn't have to scream at us, he gently guides us. He allows the Holy Spirit to gently guide us. The Holy Spirit is it's a gentle being. It's a whole book of Good Morning, Holy Spirit that'll break it down to you exactly how the Holy Spirit operates. Another story. So as a leader, you want to, this shows confidence, right? Whenever you've seen, and I'm going to use this, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, whoever, whatever superhero, they stand like this, but they don't have a stern face. They don't look like, yeah, look at me. Those are the villains. They stand like this because they know who they are. They're just observing what it is. It's the openness that makes you. It's the openness. It's not the whole you standing there like this. It's just the fact that you open. This says confidence. It's body language. This says confidence. This being open, shoulders relaxed. Listen, shoulders back. Don't do that, because you're going to look real crazy. I'm going to talk about you if I see you. But I want your shoulders back. I want you to be relaxed. And you can stand in the room without micromanaging or making your employees or your subordinates or whatever you're stewarding feel less than when you walk in the room. Now, humility rests in the worth without vanity. We know what vanity is excessive pride, conceitedness, admirations of your own appearance, your abilities and your achievements. That's what vanity is. But humility rests in the worth without the vanity. So ego strives to be seen as important. Confidence knows it already has worth. So humility rests in that worth of the confidence without vanity. Okay? So let's look at a couple of points here. In leadership, humility allows a person to lead with strength and remain teachable. Leads with strength and remains teachable. I always said this, and this is something that I learned when I was in the military, is in order to be a great leader, you have to be a great follower. Now, for some people that's in that mindset of, that unhealed mindset, we'll say that survival mode, I'm not a follower, but every time they lead something, they fail. They fail every time they lead something. And the reason why they fail is because they never wanted to follow to get the full understanding. Some people will follow only to get what they need to get from you and run and try and apply that thing, and it does not apply pressure like it applied pressure with you. Do you understand? It does not produce the same amount of product like you did. And it's because they went in listening to reply, listening to take, listening to get ahead instead of listening to understand. In order to be a great leader, you have to be a great follower. So wherever you are, and especially if God allowed you to step into your purpose and he gave you, and he allowed you in, and he gave you your gifts, and he did these things for you, because purpose means that you're in a leadership position now. That means he trusts you. That means that you've done went through all the tests, as you say. You done went through everything, backwards and frontwards. You done finally got to the point, you know what, Jesus, take the wheel. And I really mean take the wheel. I'm not going to still be in the driver's seat pressing gas and pressing brakes. I'm not going to be in the driver's seat still telling you it's a shortcut to go. I'm done. I ain't got nothing. Matter of fact, I'm turning in my passenger side license. I'm turning in my backseat license. I don't want nothing to do with it, God. You got it. You got it. You got it. When you get to that point, that's when he know that you'll steward what he's about to bring you. A humble leader can receive honor without pride, correction without defensiveness, and responsibility without self-importance. They understand their gifts are entrusted to them, not owned by them. They understand their gifts are entrusted to them, not owned by them. Meaning that I understand that God gave me this gift. I don't own this gift. I don't own this gift at all. This was given to me because God trusted me with this. So even if you're working, if you're in a supervisor position, you know those managers that act like, hey, they the ones paying you out they pocket and it. Listen, you were entrusted. You were hired and entrusted to run a thing and do a thing, because they trust that you have great leadership skills. You don't own anything. You own nothing. And until you get to that point of surrendering, you're going to have a hard time stepping into the humility stage of leadership. So what I want you to anchor on that is humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking of yourself truthfully and not more than is necessary. Okay? So let's look at number 2. Pride blocks growth and correction. Now, if you guys are just joining, I can't see who's all in the room because I'm on different platforms right now. Get your notebook. You're going to have homework. Anytime you come into any Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp course that I teach, you're going to have homework. So welcome to Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp. So number 2, we said, is pride blocks growth and correction. Pride resists correction because it is more concerned with protecting image than pursuing growth. Pride is more concerned with the image than pursuing growth. Do that remind y'all of some people? Those fake it till you make it. Those ones that sit around, if I look the part and act the part, yeah, my image, that's what's going to make people, but they never go any further than that one social media post or those posts that they have or whatever it is that they surface. That's it, and that's all. Nothing more. Because they're too worried about their pride, their image, than pursuing the growth. See, as a leader, as I told you, as a leader, you want to, in order to be a great leader, you have to be a great follower. You have to learn. You have to want to understand. You have to want to know how to apply these things. Don't tell me just what to do, and I take what to do and I go and apply. And I'm going to give you an example of myself when I was a leader in the military. And I go run with it, and it's like, yes, I'm her, I'm him. No. You have to learn how to apply it, when to apply it. It's a place for everything. It's a time and place for everything in leadership. And you can never act off emotions. So until you learn to balance your emotions as a follower, you learn to balance your emotions. So then when you step into leadership, you can roll with it. Okay? When ego leads, feedback feels threatening and accountability feels offensive. When you lead with ego, when someone that constructive criticism, they ain't trying to hear that. Go on about your business. You coming for me. You jealous of me. You jealous of me. No, you just jealous. That's what they say. That's what they think. When it's the whole time you're just trying to give them from a place of love, from a place of understanding. You're trying to teach them something from a place of understanding. A prideful posture defends position instead of developing capacity, which will eventually limit both the leader and their influence. A prideful posture defends position instead of developing capacity. Listen, I have followers, so I'm too busy trying to insert my whole, I guess, how can I say it? My whole, who I am as a leader, right? I'm trying to force this on you. This is who I am by yelling, screaming, yelling, and shouting and fussing. And that was my problem in the military. And it affected my influence. Now, you can only, listen, I can only, before I healed, baby, you couldn't tell me I wasn't doing the best thing I was doing in the military. Baby, I was the best leader. But when I healed, I was able to do a self-evaluation, right? I was able to look at myself and say, wait a minute, was I being a leader or was I in character? That's the thing. So let me explain something. So in the military, when I joined, I was off chain anyway. I was off the chain as a child. I ain't doing all that. I ain't doing that. I didn't like authority. Don't tell me nothing. I do what I want to do. So the military was perfect. Okay? And then guess what they allowed me to do? I can yell. I can scream. I'm in church. This is who I am anyway. I could be right. Oh, say less. So that was my leadership style. Like, I didn't go hang out with the soldiers. I didn't go, sitting with the groups of everybody. I was like mysterious. I came in, said what I need to say. And I didn't know that it was soldiers that was like, oh, scared of you. But it's not the fact of being scared, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I was about business. I was very direct. I played no games. There was no laughing. There's no joking. I ain't got time for it. I don't want to do none of that. That's how I was. It was about business, because I grew up in the military around old school military. The old school military. I'm talking about with the dip in their mouth and you can't hear nothing. You don't understand nothing that they saying. Do you understand me? Them sergeant majors, them first sergeants, that you don't understand anything that they saying. But you better tighten up. We learned their language. It was like they was speaking Geechee. We learned their language, and that's how it was, right? So that's what I was raised in. And so I took on, like, I could do that. That's who I am anyway. But it wasn't until, as I grew more into leadership, and then when I got out, and then, during my healing process, I realized, wait a minute. Yes, I took care of soldiers. That's one thing I'm going to do. I took care of them. I bent over backwards for them. I made sure they was taken care of. But I could have been more approachable. You know what I mean? I just looked at, I'm doing my job. And what they didn't know is I was too afraid to hang out and joke with them, because I fast-tracked. I was young. I was younger than my soldiers as their leader. So that was my way of protecting me, because I didn't want to any fraternizing or anything like that. So that was it. That was the wall. Hey, whatever, stone face. You know what I mean? But here I learned that, that limited me. I still was growing in grade, but it limited me in social settings. In social settings, I didn't know how to just be around other people and just have a good time, because I was too afraid of the fraternizing part, right? So I built this, which caused my influence, right? They got from me, they knew that I would teach them how to grow in the military, take them to boards. I always kept them ready and prepared for the next level. But sometimes that soldier just needed, first off, someone was looking for a mother figure. And I'm just like, yeah, look, I'm younger than you. But I didn't tell them that. You know what I mean? I can't give you something I don't have, but I could have been more, provided more empathy. I'm telling you, I was straight. That was it. But I could have applied more empathy instead of sympathy. That's something that I learned, later on. And you can only be truthful with yourself when you heal. Other than that, guess what? They jealous of me. They just worry. That's what people think. But no. So let me get back on topic. So I want to anchor on pride protects image. Okay? Growth requires correction. So as I grew, I learned that I start correcting myself. I start looking at myself of what type of leader am I? I don't have to be in the military to be a leader. What type of leader am I? I had to get to my true authentic self, my innate nature, meaning that I'm very sensitive. I'm very sensitive. And so I learned that, right? I learned that that's what my problem is. I'm very sensitive. So instead of you hurting my feelings, you're not going to hurt mine. I'm going to get you before you get me. So I had to take that survival mode out and step into my innate nature, which is I am a kind being. I'm love. I'm peace. I'm joy. But I had to learn that. That's part of the growth. Had I not, I'd have been still in pride. Okay? So, number 3. Humility keeps leaders teachable and unified. I guess I could have saved my story for this one. But humility keeps leaders open, teachable, and aligned with others. That's what humility does for leaders. A humble leader understands that wisdom often comes through what? Feedback, collaboration, and continued learning. So, God allowed you to step into purpose, which is your leadership position. And you just stop reading your Bible. You just stop going to church. You just, hey, listen, I'm connected to God. I only listen to him. That's my supervisor. That's my manager. I don't want to hear nothing else. I'm good. I'm going this way. No, you still need to learn. It's a constant learning. And the thing is, I did on my podcast, if you guys missed it, it's called Now. The episode is called Now. And I went to this graduation. I got to share this with you guys. I went to this graduation and she was talking to all the graduates there. Her name is Penny Barnes. And she was talking to all the graduates and she said, okay, we're going to talk about now. And the reason why, and I'm like, okay, get to the point, because I really want the graduation to be over. I ain't going to lie to you. But when she got to talking, I said, hold on, I like this. She said, I want to break down each letter in the word now. And she said, in its newness. Always stay relevant. Always look for the new. Always continue to learn. Always keep going. Oh, and then the O is for openness. And I said, okay, where we going with this? Because be open to the newness. Be open. Have an open mind, right? And then the W is to work. So before you get to the working part, I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going to land the plane. Before you get to the working part, there's a process, right? You got to go through the newness, the openness, and the now. The same way how God deals with us, right? Before we get to the point of, oh, we know it all, we off going. Before we get to our purpose, you have to stay. Once you're in purpose, right? We get in our purpose and we think that's it. No, you have to constantly look for the newness, because the world is forever changing. The spirits are always the same, but the world is constantly changing. So the same way is, okay, back in the day, pastors back before social media came out. Matter of fact, pastors before 2020, COVID happened. That's what they thought. Like, oh man, just get enough people in my church. Get enough people in the church. That's all we need is enough people in the church. And we can get And that's it. They didn't look any further. And then you have the ones that was being televised. And they thought like, I'm on already because I got the people in the church and I'm televised. Baby, it was a whole nother platform that just changed everything for the game. Like, nobody's going to church anymore. Nobody's watching TV anymore. But they are on social media. Do you understand? So that was the thing. Staying open to learning something new. So it was a big adjustment to a lot of churches and pastors because they don't know nothing about social media. Some of them burnt the young kids off like, you know what, they were sick of them. They didn't really deal with them. But those were the ones that helped drive in the direction of the new life and the new way of church. The younger generation. So don't be knocking my babies because they done taught us something. So that's the thing, staying open to newness. Because when he get ready to use you, you have to be ready to learn something new that you never even thought about. Because God will put you in a position, you're like, God, what is this? I had a situation that I had been praying for a thing. God gave it to me. Thank you, God. And I talk about this on one of my live streams. And I said, okay, how to birth this thing? Yes, finally. But something happened. I birthed double. Now, it's something different when you go into labor, right? And you're expecting a thing. You're expecting one. Or you're expecting one thing from God. A thing from God or one baby. And all of a sudden the doctor say, here's two. Here's the other one. That's kind of how I felt. I birthed my idea of what I wanted, right? What I've been praying for. But then God gave me something else. And I sat with it for a while because I was confused. And when I say I cried a lot because I didn't understand. I'm like, God, what is this? Like it just threw me completely off because I wasn't open to the newness. And it wasn't until 6 months later that the aha moment came. See, the aha moment comes when you finally figured it out. You finally healed, right? You finally passed that test. It's the aha moment like, I get it. Because what I asked for and what he showed me I was going to have the first baby, that first baby is birthed into this world, but the world is evolving into a whole new world. So he prepared me for the way of the new world. For this baby, this thing that he had for me, that he want me to take care of and do, has to be ready for this world. But I wasn't open-minded. I just wanted to work. You can't skip the openness to get straight to work. You have to go through that process, okay? So, this posture strengthens unity because people feel. Now, they feel safe, they feel valued, and able to contribute without fear. A humble leader understands that wisdom often comes through feedback, collaboration, and continued learning. So, doing that posture strengthens unity because people feel when you are a humble leader and understanding that wisdom comes from the things that we just talked about, your subordinates, the people that follow behind you will feel safe because you're confident. So they'll feel safe. They'll feel valued. They know that when you really tell them like, man, you did a good job, they know that you really meant it. They feel good. They're going to go home to their wives or husbands and say, Coach Nye singled me out, said I did good. I got a gold star. You've been promoted. You are there now, right? You're going to feel good because you feel safe with me. I am a leader and you value me, right? You value the position that I'm in and you know that I care about you and I value you. And you're able to contribute without fear of feeling like, oh, did I fail? You know that when you do something that, oh, I'm not going to get in trouble because I made a mistake. But I do know, especially if you're dealing with Coach Nye. No, you're not going to get in trouble for making a mistake. No, I'm not going to yell at you for making a mistake. But we about to go through training. Everybody know you're about to get some homework. Because I want to make sure that this never happened again. I want to make sure that you're proficient in everything that you do. I want to make sure whatever you touch, you are great in it. Because greatness is within you. So how can your work not be great? So what I want to anchor for number 3 is humility stays open. Openness sustains unity. Okay? So number 4, Godly leadership operates with quiet authority. Godly leadership operates with quiet authority. Godly leadership does not rely on volume, control, or self-promotion to establish influence. Its authority, okay? Its authority flows from the character, the integrity, and the alignment with truth. Now that I am healed and I'm in my leadership position, and that I'm able to sit here and teach others how to operate in their leadership position, I understand that my character is everything. What I'm saying, yeah, that's going to come second. But it's who I am first. You have to test the spirits. It's who I am first, right? When you meet me, it's the light that you're going to feel and see within me. See, I teach about love, right? Everybody look at love as a thing, an action. Love is this, love is that, is unconditional love, is conditional love, is agape love, is this type of love, and is you got this type of love. You love him today, you don't love him tomorrow, and then you got the agape love, that's God. No, wrong. Everything is wrong. Love languages, yeah, I got all that. No, everything is wrong. Love is God. Love is the highest gift of all. Love is God, period. You have to become love. You have to become it. It is not a thing that you do. It's not an action. And this is why the world is so stuck on, quid pro quo. If you give me this, I love you. If you don't cheat on me, I love you forever. If you do this, I love you. That's how it is. But you have to become love, meaning that when I come into your life, I'm bringing light. Don't ever be the person that come into someone's life as a leader that comes into someone's life and you dim their light, or you take from them, or you make them feel small, right? You make them feel less than, or you ruin their life. When someone come into your life as a leader in purpose, they should feel energized, because it's the energy that's going to flow out of you into them. Iron sharpens iron. Okay? Iron sharpens iron. So in that sense, whatever it is, my light, that's the character. My integrity. Now what I speak and teach, I'm confident in what I teach and speak because I wrote this program, right? I wrote this program from a place of my own testimony. So I teach it from a place of the things that I went through in the process. So if it doesn't fit you, then it just doesn't fit you. It does not mean that it's not for someone. Do you understand? So I teach this program, right? So you have to, when you go, I'm talking to you leaders, because I develop leaders. If you're following me, I don't just have followers. Every follower I have, I develop into leaders. So you leaders, I'm telling you now, when you go into someone's life, it's your character and the integrity that's within you. It's the light that's within you. People will know your fruit. You don't have to prove your self-worth. You don't have to say anything. You just show up and then you teach and speak a thing. Because your purpose is of God. And guess what? Don't question yourself. Don't look in the mirror. Don't get nervous when it's time to go on live, when it's time to teach or whatever it is, or get on that platform. Do not get nervous. How can you be nervous about something that's of you? This is your purpose. It's meant for you. It's in you. It's who you are. God gave you this purpose for a reason, right? He gave you this purpose for a reason because only you can do it. See, when you was on the assembly line, and God was creating you, he knew that he had to put a little bit more oil on you because you're going to burn through the midnight hour. He knew that he had to make sure that your engine was very high torqued. I don't know what I'm saying, but it was ready to run, right? Because the job and the mission that he has for you. So how can you not be great in it? You were built for it. It's yours. And that's what I need you to understand, that it is yours. It's going to be people out there that ain't going to like you. It's going to be people out there that's going to challenge you. It's going to be people out there that's going to look at everything that you do is all because of who you were before, right? But I need you to hold on and remember who you are. Remember whose you are. It's impossible for you to fail at something that you were built for. And remember, when they tell you ain't nobody perfect, baby, you perfect. Do you understand? You're perfect. And the reason why you're perfect is because God created you in perfection for the job. Can't nobody do your purpose like you do your purpose, because the purpose was meant just for you. I just wanted to drive that in there for you. So this kind of leadership is steady and grounded, causing others to follow from trust rather than pressure. You have those supervisors out there, those directors that try and lead with the iron fist of, making everybody feel that they have to bow down to them because they're in charge. And that's that causing others to follow from pressure. Pressure. People only following you for the pressure. They respect your position. They don't respect you. But you grounded because you in class with Coach Nat. So true authority is carried, not announced. You just show up. Yes, let me tell you something. When you show up, 10 enemies are going to show up. They all going to show up. And then you're going to have 20 God-sent people. That's what's going to be there. And you have to remember, you are not here to lead everyone. You're here to lead the ones that set apart. So when God brings the people to you, those are your people. How are you going to steward them? Are you going to steward them from a place of, you didn't want to be teachable? You want to lead with pride and ego? You want to hear a little bit? Go here, get a podcast. Go here, get a book. Go Chat GPT. You want to go here and get this, that, and hurry up and run and do something so you can make some money? You have to account to God for that because he sent people your way because he know that you can lead them, but you don't believe in yourself. So remember this, humility doesn't make you smaller. It makes you usable. It makes you usable. Humble yourself. That's it. That's all you have to do. You want something from God? Humble yourself. Just humble yourself and trust that he's going to do it. In your leadership position, humble yourself. Let your work speak for itself. I've always let my work speak for itself. Listen, I didn't have them come for me, trying to take my job, everything, but I allow my work to speak for itself. Even if I'm not in a position anymore, I had a position that I left. I didn't want nothing to do with it. I wanted to go somewhere else and I wanted to learn something else. But see, they didn't appreciate me when I was in a position. Then now I'm over in another division within this organization. Now they create a job. Let me tell you how good God is and how they had to humble themselves. I keep telling y'all waiting for your enemies to be your footstool and y'all waiting for them to be at a table. Baby, the table, they're already in your life right now. You just don't even realize it. Your enemies are already your footstool. They're already looking at you as you're eating on the table. It's them ones that, hey, friend. Hey, sis. Yeah. They watching you sit at the table and eat. And all you doing is y'all went to lunch. You ordering your food. Is just the fact that you don't have to order what you can afford. You order what you want. And they hating on you. And you don't even realize that, hey, there's your footstool. There's the ones watching you eat. And that's how it was. So when I went to the other division, then they came back. They created a job off my resume. Listen, it was so crazy because I wasn't going to apply for the job at all. I wasn't. Because I didn't care. I don't want to go back over there. It's stupid over there. I don't like it over there. Even though it was a promotion, I don't want to be over there. Oh, baby. It was the last day. And the guy, the assistant director, the deputy, he kept saying, hey, did you apply for the job? I was like, nope, I don't want it. He can't tell me, go apply for it. But they kept saying, hey, did you apply for the job? I don't want it. The last day, I happened to look at the job. Baby, it was my whole resume. So guess what? Can't no one do the job but me. So what they thought was they were being slick of, oh, we going to get you back over here. This was all God's doing. God allowed me to get promoted in front of my enemies. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. I'm telling you, that's how God works. So humility doesn't make you smaller. It makes you usable. I stayed humble and I allowed my work to speak for itself. So let's do our leadership declaration. We're about to get ready to close this thing out. Now, I don't do affirmations over here. I'll tell you guys about that. The reason why I don't do affirmations is because affirmations are for people that are trying to convince themselves. They're trying to convince themselves that it's about to be a thing and God is about to deliver or whatever. They're trying to convince themselves. The thing about affirmations are they are good, but you have to believe it to be so. For me, I declare a thing to be so. That's why I do leadership declarations. I do declarations in everything that I do. So let's go. We're going to read this out loud. I lead with humility and strength. I am confident without pride. I remain teachable, grounded, and open. I value people over position. I listen, I learn, and I grow. My humility makes me a powerful servant leader. Yeah. So this is your homework. Your journaling homework for tonight is, first thing I want you to ask yourself, where does pride show up in my leadership? And what insecurities might be feeding it? And then the second thing, who do I resist receiving correction from? Okay? That's what I want you to journal on. Now, I want you to meditate. You're always going to journal, and then you're going to meditate. You can either meditate on what you wrote, or you can meditate of seeing yourself without that pride. Seeing yourself in your innate nature. Seeing yourself as that, as her, as him. Seeing yourself as, okay, guess what? Nobody else know, and I know you told me this in private. You real sensitive. Like, you really not tough. You really will probably smash somebody across, knock their head between the wash and dry. You probably really will do that, but that's not what you want to do. You really just want to love and hug people. You really want people to just leave you alone, right? Yeah, I know. So meditate on being that person. That's your true, authentic self. That's who you are, okay? Now, the leadership activity that I want you to do, this is what I want you to practice. Practice active humility for 7 days. What does that look like? I want you to listen without interrupting people. This is something that you're learning. It's not something that you have to do. It is pressure. You're learning how to transform from that survival mindset to the heal version of you, right? So you want to listen without interrupting. You want to give credit publicly. And you want to apologize quickly and sincerely. Now, I know that's going to be tough for a lot of y'all. Because a lot of y'all are so far in reactive mode. And it's okay. Because as leaders, we learn things. I told you, from the N to the O to the W, right? To the working. We learn things along the way. We pick up gems along the way. That's when when you get tests and people say, that's a test, it's just a test. No, it's not a test. These are lessons. See, you change your mindset. If you keep saying it's a test, then you're going to fail every test because nobody likes to do tests. Look at it as a lesson because it's for something greater. When you're training for something, there's a goal in the end. If I'm training as a personal trainer, if I'm training to compete, my goal is to win. So I'm already ready for that medal, for whatever it is. That's what it is. So I want you, instead of reacting, I want you to respond. So apologizing quickly and sincerely. If you can't get that out your mouth, because I know some people that just can't say, I'm sorry. But you're going to work on it. Because as a leader, you need to learn how. But as we get there, I want you to learn how to not to react, but respond. So let's look at what that look like. Reacting. Someone bump you, you hurry up and push them back. Baby, get off my J's. Get off me. Get off me. Okay. But if you respond, what you're doing is becoming self-aware of what's going on around you. If they bump you, instead of pushing back, you're going to say, okay, let me see what's happening around me. Is there something happening around me? Did they trip and fall in front of me? Is somebody bullying them? Do I need to move out the way? Or do I assist them? What do I need to do? I'm just going to disconnect. I'm not going to isolate. I don't like that word, isolate. I'm going to disconnect. Because it is me that I need to protect the world from. It's me. I need to protect me because I'm that special. God has me in a leadership position and I can't take a chance of losing that or messing that up because I have people. I have people that I need to teach. I have people that I need to save. I have people that I have to help. I have a job. Baby, don't call me on my job. If y'all was born before the 70s, the 80s and 70s, let your mama get that phone call on a job. That's all you heard. She ain't heard nothing about what the teacher said. You getting your butt beat and it's going to be, they call me on my job. I'm in my job. I'm working. I don't have time for anything else. So I'm going to find the healthier way. So I'm going to respond. And I'm not meaning by pop it off. Responding does not mean to pop off. Responding means to check your surroundings. My RPI method. This is what I teach you guys. The RPI method is the 5 pillars of the Trinity of Fitness, right? It is the foundation of the Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp. It is to acknowledge, release, practice, inner explore, and empowerment. That's what that means. If you want a free copy of the reference card, go to my website. The link is in the bio, tofbootcamp.com, and download it. It's in the shop, and just download it. You can download it for free, okay? So what else do I have? That is basically the end of class. So practice activity, active humility for 7 days. That's your challenge for 7 days. Listen without interrupting. Give credit publicly. Apologize quickly and sincerely, okay? So this is a 9-part episode, so I will send out a notification when we get ready to do episode 3. If you haven't, go ahead, subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you're on Twitch, my YouTube is Chat with Coach Nye. Go subscribe and hit the notification bell. I think that's about all that I have. I will be, the Coach Nye Leadership Lounge. That is about to jump off. That's going to be the visual podcast that I'm going to be having. So I'll have it connected to YouTube as well. So you guys look for that. And my audio podcast is on Spotify, Apple, wherever, all major platforms. It is on iHeartRadio, Amazon, Pandora. It is Chat with Coach Nye. Go check out the episodes there. Everywhere you meet me at, you will get homework. That's just it. Because I'm all about teaching you how to heal. I'm the coach that's going to save the world. How do I save the world? By teaching you how to heal. So go, also my group me. If you need to get in touch with me ASAP and you're going through a process, and listen, don't just get on group me and just be texting me like we home girl, home boy. Because baby, I ain't got time for it, okay? I'm here to help you heal. Give me what you got so I can get you on the right track. So go download Group Me Text, and I'm Chat with Coach Nye over there, and that's where I put homework over there as well. So, and I do weekly homework assignments. So I try and post them on YouTube. Sometimes I make it, but on TikTok, I definitely put it over there. So if you're on TikTok, find me over there as well. It is Chat with Coach Nye, our Coach Nye production company. I don't know which one I named it now, but I'm over there. So go ahead, follow me over there as well, so you can keep. That's where I put mainly all my videos at. Okay. So listen, as always, if no one told you today, I'm telling you now, I love you and I am so proud of you. I want you to continue to pour into yourself before you pour into others. Okay. Coach Nye out.